That was lovely.
That was good.
That was my first time having that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
12?
sipping on that, not shooting those
Yeah,
back.
well, it's really good. It's got sweetness
smooth.
there. Yeah. I'm not a big whiskey guy, but I really like it. It's like wine. That whole world, people that are into whiskey, they're talking about, it's got oaky, this and that. This is aged. This is like a minor. This is a,
Thank you.
senior citizen or whatever the terms are. But
You guys were drinking whiskey last night, right?
last night. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, I think we did shots of something. I don't know. That guy Peter, he's just a big whiskey guy. So yeah, he likes that shit. He's a good dude, Vietnamese guy. Have you met him before?
Peter, no.
Yeah, Peter Nguyen. He owns he's a chef at La Madeleine in Quincy. New elevated French Viet.
Wow.
Really cool. Yeah,
That
definitely
sounds
recommend it. Where do you live at?
I was born and raised in Winchester, Mass. So right up 93.
At an X from there.
Yeah, super, super fast.
Nice.
20 minutes.
You still there?
Still there, yeah. Moved back home. Mom and grandma are just getting older, so kind of good Asian son moved back to take care of the fam.
Damn, dude. And you're Asian. You're half, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm half. My mom is from Hong Kong. Dad was white, but just out of the picture since I was a kid. So definitely.
Completely, or have you met him like here and there, reconnected?
Yeah, around 9.
Oh,
yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
when he passed away.
Oh, okay.
It was weird for, I guess, getting into the traumas real early. But it's just weird when you're like a 9-year-old kid and all these people are just like pitying you, and you're like, I'm just trying to hang. Like, why are you just over showering me with gifts and stuff? I'm like, this is weird. But I don't know.
It's like I'm just trying to play some basketball.
I was like, I don't know. I think I was so young, I didn't really understand it, and everybody around me was like so much more sad than I was, and I was like, okay, I guess like I have to be really super sad, or I don't know.
Yeah. Would you say you're incapable of feeling emotion?
After 4 years in the restaurant industry, it's getting closer to that.
Yeah.
Definitely helps to like keep the shell up. A lot of people say I'm like Harvey Dent because I was coming into this super fucking optimistic.
Yeah.
And, I still am super optimistic. I'm just very, very cynical now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you grow the facial hair after the kind of like evil the turn?
During the restaurant I was clean shaven.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the bar side version of me.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
The late night. Yeah.
Let's introduce you. Actually, we haven't even fucking introduced you. So we're talking to Michael Gander today. Huh?
What's the name of the podcast?
Oh, the name of the gotta introduce the podcast too. This is the Havers podcast. So we're talking to Michael Gander today. He's a real Haver. He got it all, man. We call him Gander. A lot of people call him Gander, but he's also known as Tight Mike, also known as TB, and LB, whatever. Yeah, exactly, all that stuff, right?
Can you expand on a wide tight?
TB. That's funny. We were talking about TB yesterday.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I brought it up. Yeah.
Real tight butthole.
Yeah, that's what my sister said. She was like, yeah, he just introduced himself as TB, and I didn't know.
I think there was some conversation before that, but we got there somehow. Yeah,
with my sister, you usually get to buttholes pretty fast. She's kind of a STA kind of girl, straight to anal. That's what we say. She loves just she has IBS, so she talks about diarrhea a lot, and then she also just likes eating ass, I think, or getting her ass. I don't even know, one of the two. But yeah, she'll talk about that quick. Like it's a game we play sometimes, just the over under at dinner. How fast are we going to talk about something like
ass related,
fecal, or rectal, one of the two. But anyway, back to you. You got it all. Owner of Cloud and Spirits in Cambridge, beautiful bar now, event space, used to be a wonderful restaurant, partner at Blackfin Collective, correct? Former underwear model, runway model.
Yeah, that was like a one-day thing.
Freelance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calvin Klein?
It was some random dude.
Okay, yeah. Oh damn, that's molestation. I think some guy was just like, "Hey,
yeah, you were getting groomed,
and let me take pictures.
Put it on and just walk around for me, and I'll give you $100."
That's Jeffrey Dahmer.
At least he paid you. Yeah.
At least he didn't eat me.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking about that the other night. I was like, in the changing room, there was no changing room, and they basically like had me get butt naked in front of like 15 people, like full frontal.
Where were you?
It was some like warehouse in Rhode Island, and they had like a big community changing room. But they were just like, here, put this on. And I was like, put this on where?
Yeah.
And they're like, we have like 30 seconds, man. Like, put it on. And it was like super cold in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's tons of people looking at my dick. And I was like,
bro, what?
The shrimp dick.
How old were you?
Go. It's 23.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
23, 24.
And how old was most of the audience?
They were like up there. They're all like business owners in the area.
Wow.
Definitely over 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fascinating.
So I was like, I mean, I could have cried wolf and been like, I was violated, but
no.
Did you at least get paid or any compensation?
Oh yeah, they gave us $100.
Yeah. Well, back then, dude, when you're 23,
bro, I honestly wouldn't take the $100 for that.
I was like, oh, I get to expose myself to people and get $100, you know.
Well, that's part of the thrill of it, right? Is like that modeling aspect. Like, why did you do it? How'd you get into it?
Modeling, I just honestly, it was my mom who kind of forced me into it. She was a model. My grandpa.
Oh, okay.
Her father was an actor, and she's very vain and was like,
your mom?
Yeah,
okay.
She was like, you go get some money for people taking pictures of you. So I just asked around some agencies, you know, sent them some pictures. They were like, get some more pictures taken, and then get some professional ones done, send it to us, and we'll like keep you on the books and just send you stuff when it's here. But honestly, like, you're really just going out to stuff and getting rejected like 4 or 5 times. Yeah,
that's what like modeling is as a career.
Yeah,
I think that it's probably the same way with a lot of like entertainment jobs. Right? You say you're listening to that entertainment industry podcast. I feel like like acting, dude. That sounds horrible, man. Just going like audition after audition. You're going in the same room with like everyone else that looks the same as you, and then you just after that you get rejected, and then you see who got it, and you're just like thinking to yourself, "Oh, that sucks." Like, that sounds horrible. You ever want to do some shit like that?
I used to think I wanted to be famous or be an actor. Now I know I 100% don't want that.
Yeah.
Just like there's too much public perception. Like even in the restaurant industry, people have their perceptions about you, and they're just totally untrue.
Oh yeah.
So I can only imagine when you have like 5 million people that are just talking shit about you.
Yeah, and especially now with the social media age.
Yeah, insane.
And my grandpa was an actor. He acted in Taiwan. He was super prolific, and he was like, "You promised me you never would be an actor."
Wow.
Because like he would just say horror stories, like I don't know if it was like Weinstein type stuff, but like my grandma was missing some teeth for at 19, and they needed her to have like a full set, and they like just pulled all her teeth out and gave her like new dentures at like 20.
What the fuck?
Just for the role, and it was under the contract, so you're basically like a slave.
Yeah.
Heard some pretty wild shit. And Grandpa was just like, we promise me you'll never be like an actor.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Let's do restaurants instead.
And then my grandma was like, promise me you'll never open a restaurant.
Yeah, there it is.
It's not as bad. I was like, I'll just go.
Yeah. So, I mean, why did you get into it initially after all? Because if your grandma's saying don't do it, probably you've heard that from many other people too. Like, how'd you get into it?
Yeah. So, my grandma actually had the restaurant across the street from us, coincidentally. It's a crazy story. 1970s, she came to Boston, and she just opened a restaurant, and it was one of the only 4-star restaurants in Boston.
There's actually a lot written about that restaurant too, right? Ron was telling me.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You can find info on that on Wikipedia and such, and on, if you Google it, like she like was responsible for bringing a certain dish to the area.
Yeah. Swan La Cha Shou is the um, Swan La sour and spicy wonton, and she actually is credited on that on the Wikipedia page.
That's crazy.
So I got into it. I mean, I was in college, I was teaching, and then my friend was bartending. He was like, "Yo, let's you should do this bartending gig. It's super easy, catering, like weddings, stuff here and there." It was good money. It was fun. Got to meet people, and then I started doing that just part time for like 10 years. I was always at like cafes or restaurants. I honestly just loved eating food. I just love free food. So
yeah,
I was like, any way I can get free food, just
yeah.
I'm there.
Right.
And then, 10 years of that, and you're sort of like, oh, what am I doing? Am I like a lifetime bartender? People are at like weddings, all fancy, and you're like just cracking wine for them. So you started feeling like, not fulfilled in a way. And then COVID hit, and everybody's just like, just in their houses, just doing nothing.
Yeah. It's at home alcoholism.
So weird. Yeah. Like just blacking out every day. And my friend Ron called. We'd actually been playing basketball together for like 10 years. So we'd always been talking about something. And this was just kind of the right time. He was like, the spot is going down. What do you say? Like, we get out of the house and just build something and see what happens. And that's basically how Clouded Spirits started.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So a lot of things like led up to that, right? Like you were very involved in like bartending, right? And so is that what your role is now for the most part at Cloud? Or is it more on the ownership? Like what's your day-to-day like?
Basically Cloud at this point is run only by me and my alleged cousin, Corey.
Oh, cool.
But we both do essentially everything.
Oh, okay.
You name it. Bartending is kind of just the tip of the iceberg that you see. But normally we'll get in, we'll do the whole facility. Like if we have time, we'll put lights up, we'll move fixtures around. There's always some plumbing issues, some electrical, some fix we need to do. And then I do all the back end stuff, kind of emails, ordering, and then the show starts at like 7. We bartend, and then just repeat the process.
Damn. Yeah. So you're kind of like fully in the owner operator model right now, right?
Yeah. And Ron and his team, they definitely help out a lot on a lot of the admin stuff. When we were a restaurant, I did do a lot of that, but it kind of was too much. But like stuff like payroll, hiring, HR kind of stuff. Yeah. They have a really good team that kind of takes care of a lot of that.
Okay. Yeah. So what's your relationship with them, with Ron's team, Blackfin? Like, are they involved a lot in the day-to-day, or are you kind of, and like what do you bring to the table in terms of like their other projects, or if anything?
Yeah. The relationship definitely, has grown a lot over the past 4 years and changed. In the beginning, kind of everybody was at Cloud, like, oh, it's the new kid on the block. We're all going to contribute. And then the way things work is kind of like get one started, find somebody to run it, and then they go and start another project like Fish Taco. I've kind of been marooned at Cloud because it's just it's a different type of beast. Like it takes a ton of code switching. Like
what sense?
Like I would have to be super nice to somebody, seat them, and then go in the back and yell at like the
your cousin or whatever. Yeah.
Yell at my cousin, and then like a pipe could explode all at the same time. And not that the team can't do it. It's just I've been doing it so long. It's like, let's only subject one person to this like extreme type of situation. So, Cloud was always like my baby. I built it, ran it. We lost our chef, kind of like went down with the ship. Yeah. Brought it back. So they do help out a ton. Like if we're short staffed or if we have a big event, the team's always there, and then I'm always there for them when we do like big events like Boston Calling, Boston Night Market, anything kind of communal based.
Cool.
I'll try to, pop over, and we kind of promote each other and
right.
Just interact. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, Cloud is a very interesting like establishment, because it has been such a journey for you guys, right? And like right now, the way you're describing it is, it is a bar, right? So people go and they can just sit down and drink, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then also you guys do a lot of like events.
Mm-hmm.
So like what's like your right now, like what is Cloud?
So like every single week it's different. This week, for example, tomorrow, Wednesday, we have salsa and bachata dancing. This will be our first time like serious people in there twirling, dancing. Thursday, every Thursday we do a pop-up thrift market. Bunch of vendors come in, like anything from cart heart to graphic tees, and that's more of like a hip hop night. Hip hop DJ. We have an MC, very casual kind of open market vibe. Friday we're just open as a bar, just cocktails, and then Saturday we have a kind of a house techno show, which is ticketed, and you can find their link through our bio and buy tickets and go.
Damn, that's very cool.
Yeah.
But before that, it was a full-on like I don't know, what would you call that restaurant? Like it was kind of French Asian, like what
I would say
Western
like
Asian,
elevated Asian tapas.
Yeah. And that was the original concept, right?
That was the original concept. So we originally, Katie Chung was our opening chef.
Yeah.
I think you guys know each other.
Acquainted, yeah.
And she was doing very, very elevated food from scratch, everything. And it was just so high quality. We couldn't find the right staff during COVID. People were still collecting, unemployment checks.
Oh yeah, dude.
And really, we couldn't find quality for the back of the house. So it ended up just kind of burning her out. And we just, had to move our separate ways. And then we kind of, we were like bought in already. Ron came in. He was like, let me come up with a menu. And we kind of like took 2 weeks off, restarted. And now we ran with this new menu, which is elevated Asian. And eventually the staff kind of got better. We found some people, but that was still one of the biggest struggles, was finding good quality help. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So then the rebirth of it, then like a lot of restaurants I feel like would just close, or like what would happen usually when the chef like leaves and you guys are scrambling? Would that be like kind of enough for a failure of sorts, or would it be like what I'm trying to get at is like this pivot that you guys did, like what made you guys do that, and like is that unusual in the industry? Because it seems unusual to me. Like it's just, I don't know any other examples of that happening.
Yeah, no, we definitely pivoted many times, and that was part of the reason we named the place Cloud. Was we were coming in from COVID. Everybody was from a different background, and we all kind of had strengths in different areas. So we were all willing to try basically anything and just give it a go. And that was sort of the Cloud aspect. But yeah, I think we had invested a lot to the point where we weren't going to just, shut the doors. Like we'd put in a lot of time, effort, energy and money into the space, the training, the people. And Ron also has a really good knack for food. So, he took a ton of time. He came in, developed a menu. He was cooking in there every day. And we just ran that as kind of our phase 2. And then that was, kind of part 2 of Cloud's restaurant life, if you will.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then eventually, I don't know, people just kind of kept dropping, and I was kind of the only one there to be like, all right, I'll do that now, I'll do that now, until it was like there was nobody else left to kind of go. And I was like, yeah, we need to pivot, and we need to figure something out, because just the food is not working.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Quick question. So you mentioned you do like salsa and bachata.
Yeah.
Like, where's the inspiration from, like including like Latin culture into it?
What I see cloud as now is just, I think personally it stems from me, my kind of philosophy in the restaurant industry is that like everybody has a story to tell, and that's what your job as a service worker is there to do, is to like understand the person and figure out what their needs are. So I've always been super friendly and open to people, and people come in and they say, hey, what do you think about a salsa? And I'm like, yeah, if you can bring a ton of people in here and just, it works for both of us. I mean, we could do whatever you want as long as it's, legal. So a lot of times people come in, they, throw me a proposal, and I ask them kind of what they want, what their vision is. And, if it's low danger and, fun, honestly, I'm down for anything.
Yeah.
We've done like dubstep, techno, house, hip hop, Latin.
You ever do like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or anything like that?
If you brought yours, I'll whip mine out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
You
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Mine's not like legal. I got all the.
Oh, you
it's
got
not
the
like
good
regulation.
I
cards.
got Change of Heart.
Yeah.
Monster Reborn. I'm still rocking the OG
Yeah.
deck.
Damn. Okay.
But that would be fun. I mean, if you brought in like 50 people that would drink a lot and play Yu-Gi-Oh, let's do it.
That sounds like. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of these like a lot of like almost subcultures in the Boston area that would love to have a home for a regular kind of event like this, whether it's video games or like whatever, foosball, whatever,
beer pong. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've done a beer pong night.
That sounds fun, dude.
Like,
just make it like a frat party.
Literally,
Just like a tourney
Just
kind of
dudes
setup,
only?
or
Guys only. Can we make that a rule?
guys only.
Guys only beer pong night.
No girls allowed.
Yeah.
I don't know how good that'll be for business.
Yeah.
We'll start getting too frustrated.
Yeah, no, that would be high danger, I think.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of like tension in the room,
definitely.
aggression,
People would
testosterone.
start wrestling and
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah, no, none of that.
I have thought about like Magic or gaming in there.
Yeah.
We have played games in there. We have a projector.
Oh yeah.
They're not the biggest drinkers, but
Gamers.
Yeah, they kind of like
Because they're too
really
focused
into
on
the
it.
game.
Yeah, they want to focus. They can't be.
You need an activity where people need
Yeah.
to be, socially lubricated.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if it's maybe like a game where it's like, let's talk to women or whatever.
Yeah.
Speed dating, maybe that.
We have thought about dating, and
Yeah.
Jaylene's actually been in
yeah.
there. It's a date. That was more of like a comedy show,
Right.
but I've tried to think of how speed dating would work. Totally down. I feel like that's kind of your area of expertise. You're
What,
always-
dating?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess. I love that stuff, dude. I'm in a relationship now. Are you single?
I am.
Yeah. Dude, every time I talk to somebody about cloud, they're like, "Oh, dude, the bartender there is fucking so beautiful."
Oh damn, what's his name? No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you're single now. Have you always been single?
No, so actually I met a girl kind of at the same time I was starting the cloud build out. And then we ended up kind of breaking up because of just the amount of hours and
that's a theme we hear a lot, and it's it's one of the kind of like the main questions of the podcast is like, how do you maintain your relationships when you're working so much in this industry, you know? So like that's the experience you had.
Yeah, totally. Because she was in education, so she'd be working like 7 to 3, and that would literally 3 o'clock would be when I would go in, and then I would get back home, midnight, and she's asleep. So we would get like a Monday night, but like, what the hell is a Monday night? Like, yeah.
We usually record the podcast on a Monday night.
Everybody's got like the Mondays, and like one Saturday night's worth like 10 Mondays nights, So I would always, have to cancel like a dinner plan or a date on a Friday or Saturday because some shit would be exploding at the restaurant. And that just kind of takes a toll. And then, they kind of lose hope, and they just like learned hopelessness. Like, oh, he's probably going to cancel, or,
oh man.
And then it just deteriorates. And then ultimately at one point I was like, I have to make a decision. And I couldn't really make a decision, like walking away from either was too hard. So I kind of just kept doing the status quo and honestly did try to like hire and replace, but
you like for yourself?
Yeah, just to try to teach people or fill in the role. But it just never happened. And then eventually, we just so much inactiveness or like not making a decision. The decision kind of made itself, and we went our separate ways. And that was that. And then that one I was kind of like when I was like, super kind of pissed, and I was like, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of closed it down. Kind of all culminated into that. Like I was, we still had the team there, and they were doing everything they can, but like to an extent at the restaurant, I was like just kind of holding all the pieces together, losing partner, kind of losing the staff at the restaurant. I was like, I'm just going to chill out.
Yeah. Damn, that's really tough. So is that something you would say, like, you can't date like teachers in the restaurant industry? That's one of the demographics you just can't go for, right? Because of the schedule.
You gotta look for more nurses or something.
That makes sense.
People that share your hours.
Other industry people, maybe.
Like other industry people.
Ideally, not in the same restaurant as you, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, ideally. I mean, when I was, working at restaurants and catering, of course. Everybody's like hooking up with each other.
Yeah.
As a manager now, you definitely,
it's a fine line.
You definitely frown upon it. I have to draw that line, but I mean, we have had staff that we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I probably wouldn't really date in the industry because I just know what it is. Like you're just getting so much attention that it's very like hard to resist sometimes. Like, you're just getting solicited.
Oh yeah.
Nonstop. So it's hard to trust, I think, people.
That makes a lot of sense, man. Especially like good looking people in the industry.
Exactly.
Whether it's male or female, it's like any given day. It could be a customer, it could be, a bartender, someone at a different restaurant, oh, I know about them, the dishwasher, a lot of them are out there on the prowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess for you in this relationship that never happened, would you have done anything differently looking back?
It's tough because I'm the type of person that has to just, I'm a very like you live with your decision type of guy. And, if I wanted to do something, I think I would have. But no, I was definitely very regretful in the beginning, like, oh, I should have done something. But, that was also like a ridiculously hard choice. Like you choose between like your partner or this restaurant you built, end up like almost losing both. But if you don't make a choice.
It seemed like you made a choice though with your kind of with your actions, right? Of like just continuing to work, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no choice is a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So, that pretty much ended things because I kept saying like I'll make a choice, but I like still never made a choice.
Yeah.
Or just kept working.
Right.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
You just let things like figure it out itself on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which ultimately my only solution was like, hey, I'm going to hire people. I was being very proactive, but that's still just wasn't cutting it. I needed to like actually just go one way or the other.
Yeah.
So then when, I was single, took some time off, came back, I was like, you know what? I have like 100% of my energy now. Like, hey Ron, I'm gonna try this one more time. Like, let me run it, kind of catering style events, like what I'm good at, and we'll see what happens. And it's been 8 months of just going like all into just a kind of community event space / bar.
It has been working pretty well, huh?
And it's definitely mentally a lot more doable. It's just me and my cousin.
Allegedly,
alleged cousin.
Yeah.
Alleged. Yeah. We actually live together.
Okay.
So we're very close. We've been hanging out since we were kids. He's super handy. I mean, I'm super lucky to have.
Handsy or handy?
Both. Yeah. You can't be handy unless you're handsy.
Right.
But no, he's just a tinkerer. Like he will fix. Not a tinkler.
Twink.
He's not a twink. He's a tinker.
Tinkler.
That sounds like a slur. You're right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll fix anything. You just say like,
except his relationships.
Except for his dating app profile.
Yeah, right,
but,
right.
He'll fix that soon enough. He's
Right.
better with physical things, mechanical.
Yeah.
So yeah, shit's broken. He'll be like, "Oh, I'll just take it apart, fix it."
Wow.
And honestly, you wouldn't be. I wouldn't be able to do it without somebody who's just like figures shit out.
Yeah,
like,
he wants to get in there.
Yeah,
that's
with his hands. He wants to get in
he's
there.
good at taking things apart and just getting his fingers in there.
Nice and dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
You need somebody to get their hands dirty. That's definitely.
Yeah, and a lot of people that are very pretty, they don't like to get their hands dirty because they don't want to like ruin their their prettiness,
right? Their soft hands,
feminine hands. Is that kind of your vibe?
No, I definitely get my hands dirty too.
Nice,
so we're everybody there is just getting down and dirty.
Nice, yeah.
But
yeah, no, I mean, so back to like the relationship aspect, like, so since you've gone all in with this like new model at Cloud, like, has it been sort of like you shutting off that part of your life a little bit? Like, I'm not really interested in looking around. I'm just gonna do, focus on business right now.
Yeah, no, dude, that was totally spot on. Like still recovering from the relationship and also just like you can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
you gotta do one thing
when it comes to building something, right? Yeah, it's like you gotta focus on building that one thing.
Just like when you do anything, you need to focus 100%. You have to take away all those things that will distract you.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing, but it's definitely a vice of sorts. Like I see my friends going out on maybe 2 dates a week. They're dropping like $200-300, and I'm just like, wow, that's like $1,000 a month you're spending on dates.
Yeah.
And your time.
Right.
Like, it's a lot of time. And
are these friends of yours, like, are they kind of more in a stable career right now, or?
They are. They are. Very stable career, but very. I mean, he's Latino, so he likes dating a lot. But, we give each other shit.
Yeah.
He's like.
What type of Latino is he?
He's Peruvian.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the Peruvians?
I don't have many opinions on the Peruvians. I know
they seem low key.
they're very low
They
key.
seem kind of like the Lao.
They're very attractive.
Oh, just like the Lao.
And they have good food. That's all I know about them.
Okay.
They have good food.
Delicious food.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what were you saying about him? Dating and everything.
I mean, that's his vice, you know.
Yeah.
We knock on each
Women.
other. Women.
He
He
loves
just loves women.
Is he also like attractive?
He's very attractive.
Oh, dude, yeah. So he's killing it.
Is he a short king or a tall king?
I think he's short king.
Yeah, a short king.
Short
Yeah.
king.
He still sounds like a haver though. He seems like he's got it.
A haver. He's definitely a trier. He never stops trying.
That's a good category, a trier. We should start saying that.
Try to be a haver.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
He works really hard. I mean, he's in sales, so
Okay.
he doesn't stop until.
Oh yeah, he has to
gets
grind.
the
Yeah.
fucking close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you know, I'm like, you know, do your thing. It's just it takes a lot of time. It's not. I'm along with being physically unavailable. I'm mentally, emotionally unavailable. It's like, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, but it seems like intentional right now. Like you're like, you know, I'm still recovering. It's a good time for me to focus on building this business, and so you're not like when there are, you know, pursuers or whatever. What do you call it when someone wants to like get with you, like a not a pedophile, like
a molester?
No. Quarter or something, you know.
Quarter.
What do you have? I don't know the fucking word, but it's like when a suitor. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have like suitors, right? Like
Yeah.
people can, oh, like I want to date you, this and that. Like at this point, you've kind of made the decision to be like, let's not do it, right? Or are you still going on
It
dates?
sounds like a very pointed question. Are you asking for
No.
somebody, or- Oh,
Well,
okay.
no, because I know that you have many options, or at least you know, you have a lot of people that would like to, and so you know, if you're choosing to focus on the business, it must be like a choice to say no a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm. It's part of the job is being very friendly
Mhm.
and flirtatious, and I don't necessarily say no. I say, hey, you know, come back. We'll talk about it here, kind of in my space.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds bad, but like, unfortunately, I say that to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really get to hang out with my friends unless they come visit
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I kind of just do that for everybody, and some people, you know, I don't mind talking to people, but the bar definitely keeps me safe.
Right. It is a physical barrier,
It's a physical barrier.
wall from you getting.
Yeah, you
Into
can't
them
tell he's
walls.
bricked up behind the bar.
Yeah.
He's bricked up
Exactly.
behind the bar.
It's sticky down there.
A lot of pre-cum? Oh
just can't see
no.
my hands.
Yeah.
Um,
Or your cousins.
yeah, he's down there.
Yeah.
Cleaning, fixing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I definitely, you know, I chat with people, I get to know them,
Right.
but I'm not like
You're not thinking about the future as far as like a relationship right now.
100%. No.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't say that you're looking for a relationship?
Yeah,
No.
no, definitally not. Looking
Yeah.
for
In
a
fact, you're
relationship.
probably looking for not a relationship for the next
Yeah,
foreseeable future, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of those,
Yeah.
like a situationship. Is that what they're
yeah,
called?
yeah, those
Yeah,
are great.
that's right,
Those are
yeah.
fun.
Good.
Those are fun, man. Damn. Yeah, you're in a good spot, dude. You're in a good spot.
Well, I don't know. It's been
Well, you're a
pretty.
fun spot.
What?
It's a fun spot to be in, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. All the situationships kind of turned into like, what kind of ship is this? And I
Right.
jumped ship, and I was like, this
Yeah,
is,
when they start asking too many questions.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the second time we've hung out. I don't know what.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
what
you're
are
asking
we?
me
Like,
this.
Yeah.
we're nothing.
I was like, this is the last time.
Yeah.
This is what that is.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn.
yeah, no, it's scary. I'm definitely shelled off, but I think, you know, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, it's definitely being raised by a single mother, you know, divorced once, widowed, just very, very cynical, but self-motivated, kind of independent lady.
Yeah.
So she always preached, you know, like, you got to focus on yourself, and that, like, things don't come externally.
Yeah.
Whether, even happiness from another person is like fleeting.
Mm.
So, definitely raised a lot of her influence into the cynicism.
So we went to Cloud. This was back when it was first open. We had a friend who worked at Zuma as a chef there, and he did a stage with you guys.
Yeah,
Shortly.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
And so we dropped by for a dinner. He was like, "Oh, dude, like I work at this place, fucking sick food." We went for one of my friend's birthday dinners and had a great time. Really good food there. And you came by, and this was back when you had like no facial hair, and you and I had similar haircuts at the time. And you came over and you were like, yeah, you just talked for like, I think like 30 seconds to about like a minute and a half about like the salad. And it was very like passionate. You were like talking about the salad as if it was like fucking the Lord Jesus Christ meets like Halle Berry. It was like, yeah, like we have this, but it was in perfectly just very deadpan. Like it was like I don't remember the exact words, but it was just you just talked about the salad so and we were like, is he joking? Like I've never heard someone talk about salad like this for so long and so passionately, and like we're like, are you trying to make a joke? Like is this trying to be funny? And then we ended up just getting the salad and it was delicious, right?
What kind of salad?
It was like, do you remember the salad?
Was it our first phase or the second?
I think it was first phase.
First phase?
Yeah.
Now I'm a piece of shit for not remembering.
Me neither. I know it had leaves in it, and I think it had like radishes.
It was really nice. Katie's gonna kill me for not remembering this. Yeah. Really nice baby lettuce, and I think like a soy miso dressing. So it was very crispy, very crunchy, fresh. And I honestly I love soy sauce on vegetables. So it was like kind of a soy, I think, miso dressing.
Yeah, I think it's all coming back. You're like, yeah, I don't know if you've ever like put soy sauce on leaves before, but it's
very
like,
monotone.
Gonna change your life. Yeah, and then my friends and my girlfriend were like, dude, is that you? Because like you and I had like we were both very same haircut, both tall, like Asian-ish. You were very like Keanu Reeves, like young Keanu Reeves looking at the time, tall, and then I also have kind of like a deadpan humor sometimes, and so like everyone we were with was like, bro, is that just like your soulmate? Like right now, did you guys? And so that was a moment that stuck in all of our heads. And then later when I met you again at Cloud like a couple weeks ago or whatever, when you guys were doing fish taco for the first time, it all came back. I was like, dude, do you guys remember that like fucking tall Asian guy who was just like talking about salad? And everyone was like, yeah, dude, yeah, that was hilarious. And so we talked about that. And yeah, no, but that's what it was. And I texted Ron before this because I wanted to make sure it was you. I was like, hey, did you guys have like another Keanu Reeves looking like tall Asian guy that has like deadpan humor? And he was like, no, if he was like Keanu Reeves looking, it was definitely Gander. But like he was like, you probably caught him on a dead inside day because he doesn't normally have like a deadpan humor. So that's I think we got to the bottom of that. But
yeah. No, I remember or at least I thought I was very enthusiastic back then. I mean, maybe it's my tone, but
your tone is
I was very pumped about that salad.
I don't think you're physically capable of coming across as like pumped.
Yeah. No, a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Like
in your mind, you might be like, I'm putting a lot of energy out right now, but
this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is taking a lot.
Yeah, you sound exactly the same.
This is me here.
Yeah. No, I get that though. I'm the same way.
No, it's funny because my mom's a health freak, and she is like a vegan, she went on a raw food diet for a while, and she would always bring me salad, like elementary through like middle school. She would just like DoorDash, come here, homemade salad. She would drive into the school, like walk into the lunchroom, like disregard everything and non-sexually toss my salad.
Wow, that's really kind of honestly sweet.
Yeah. And
were you embarrassed?
I could see that being embarrassing at the time. Yeah. How did you feel about it?
I was super embarrassed, but my mom is so unapologetic. She's like, everybody shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
And you guys should be eating salad too.
Hell
Shame
yeah,
on you.
bro.
Shut up. Let
I
me
love
toss
that.
my son's salad
Yeah.
real quick.
You
And she
watch
was-
me toss his
She was
salad.
attractive too, right? Because you were saying she was a model and this and that.
Back in the day, yeah. Back in the
So
day.
people probably wanted to see her come through. They were probably waiting for that to happen.
By the time I was in elementary, she was a lot older. So I think she had me at 46. So
Oh wow,
she was already like in her 50s, 60s at that point. Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Do you have any older brothers or older siblings?
Older brother and then an older sister.
Is that
Sister's
a
the
large
oldest.
age gap?
Yeah. So they're actually technically half siblings.
Hmm.
But we all grew up together. So
Hmm.
we were basically, I consider them like my full siblings.
Wow, insane. What's the age gap? The biggest one?
So between me and my brother is 14-ish
Wow,
years. So he's like almost 50. Sister's
bro, that's crazy.
50. Yeah. Very, very old. My brother was definitely a lot more of like a mentor and a guide, like taught me how to drive.
Yeah.
Gave me a ton of good advice. So, yeah, he's like almost 50. He's got a kid now.
Crazy, man.
You know, he's making mom proud with continuing the gene on.
Yeah,
Somebody had to do it.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so she would toss my salad, and then people would make fun of me.
Yeah.
It was like it was like a garlic salad, and it had like 6 cloves of garlic in it,
Ooh.
and she was really just like ruining everyone's day.
But making your day, dude. Because
Making my day, and people would make fun of me, and then they would like try one, and then eventually everybody started wanting it. And she just basically just brought it in for like the whole table, like
Wow.
all my friends. So
I love that.
you know, it was just chicken patties and salad.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, she was like, school lunches are crap. It's just like sloppy joes every day, which is crazy to think about. Like we didn't have a single vegetable. Like
Growing up, I didn't have any
Yeah,
vegetables.
Still,
at
too,
all.
you, man.
it's crazy.
Maybe corn.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the only vegetable I see.
Yeah.
Hispanics
Sad.
don't like vegetables. Hispanic men apparently don't like
Really?
vegetables. Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gay.
Yeah.
What type of Hispanic are you?
I'm Guatemalan and
Guatemalan.
Colombian, but I'm mostly Guatemalan.
Beans are.
Beans
Do they
are
count
big.
as a vegetable? That's
Do
a lot
they?
of fiber.
Yeah. I think technically, yeah. They're like more starchy. I don't know. I would call them a vegetable.
Yeah.
Depends on what your categories are. If it's just meat and veggies, then they're definitely more on the veggie side. If there's meats, carbs, and veggies, I might throw them in carbs.
Yeah, I'll throw them in carbs.
Might throw them in
Yeah.
carbs. Yeah.
Okay. But salsa, it's a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Onions.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
don't tell him that because he's gonna.
cilantro.
The thing about he's told me about Hispanics is like, it's not that they don't like vegetables. It's because vegetables are gay. So if you convince him that he likes vegetables in the form of salsa, which is saucy vegetables, and the word saucy is even a little bit homoerotic. He's gonna
crossing
start
that line
questioning.
right
Yeah.
there.
So it's one of those things.
So you don't eat cucumbers.
No,
Oh,
now
my
I
goodness.
eat vegetables,
Oh, okay.
but growing up,
Yeah.
never ate a vegetable.
Yeah.
I was
'Cause they're-
allergic.
Because they were gay.
Yeah, very gay.
Yeah.
That's
All
what
right.
all the kids at the lunch table said
About vegetables?
about my salad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they all converted.
Dude,
So they're
yeah.
all gay
Yeah,
now?
they're all gay now.
Damn.
I love that,
Yeah.
man. I think a lot more people should be gay. Honestly, I think it would solve a lot of issues if more people were gay because overpopulation is really big.
True.
There's a lot of violence that happens because of like men that are
Yeah.
attracted to women.
Gay guys don't
That's true.
fight. Like,
Yeah, they just
They're
wrestle
nice.
each other and like have a good time.
how would you know?
I mean, I think I've seen a couple movies.
Oh, my
like
bad.
that, but,
What movies?
like what's it called? Sweaty Lumberjacks 2.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was a good
Did you
sequel.
watch the first one for the plot?
I watched the second one first, then I went back and watched the first one just to
Ah.
get caught up on everything. But yeah, it's essentially the same thing as the sequel. They're just sweaty lumberjack, and then they just cut down trees and then
A
they
lot of
fondle it.
logs,
Yeah. Anyway, so you were saying basically back to relationships, all right? So okay.
Yeah.
Mark the time because that whole thing is getting cut out.
No, that we're keeping that. Producer Andy is keeping all
okay.
that.
Executive decision by producer Andy. But
Yeah.
the topic that we wanted to get back to after the last shot was the way that your upbringing, specifically seeing your mom's relationship or like the way that your mom behaved, how does that affect your approach to women now and relationships, right? You were saying, you know, she's very independent. She's very, I guess, almost cynical about love.
Yeah.
And is that carrying over now?
Yeah, she's just always preached that you know, relationship, it's like a triangle. You have to kind of meet in the middle, like in the shared space. But each person needs to have their own kind of separate space too. And that when you kind of intertwine two lives too much, then you kind of create this imaginary like vacant void. When you lose the person, then like you're losing like half of yourself, which in reality isn't really even possible. It's only because you chose to give half of yourself or intertwine those things or kind of mix them together permanently that now you've created like kind of a loss situation where like both parties should be 100% themselves and then come together in a third space where they're bringing both of themselves versus taking 50% and 50% and kind of smashing it together to make 100%.
Right. Interesting.
And I guess the way that translates now is just I just focus on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the restaurant, things I can control. Spending more time with her. Her health's kind of, you know, in decline. She's got arthritis, so.
What joints are affected?
Her hands are pretty clawed up. Her knees are pretty bad. But that's part of her kind of health kick. Like, she's definitely gained a lot of health back through diet. Like
Good.
Turmeric, beets, carrots. She's juicing a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually 3 years ago, the doctors were like, you got like 3 months to live.
Wow.
And she was like, fuck that. I'm going to start juicing and like celery, carrot, cucumber, you name it. That was like 3 years ago. So,
damn.
Yeah, because rheumatoid arthritis, I guess the inflammation just pops up everywhere. It could pop up in your joints, pop up in your lung, your heart, and then just like kind of blow things up. So there's a lot of the inflammation was going into her lungs, and she was kind of having trouble breathing, and that was, you know, getting progressively more scary. But just the turmeric has been reducing the inflammation like crazy. So highly suggest turmeric.
Me too, man. Dude, yeah,
Ginger.
That's beautiful. So she does she take turmeric and then juice it herself, or does she just have like the ground up turmeric and then she puts it in the juices?
She just takes the ground turmeric as pills. Sometimes you take turmeric to like a cheese grater and then mix it with some like carrots through just a cheese grater and just shred it up.
Yeah.
Make a little salad. Eat, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of mushy, but you know.
Yeah.
Gets it in, gets it down.
And family's really big for you, right? Like you're a good Asian boy, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
What's like when you're thinking about like taking care of your mom right now, like how much time does that take out of the business, I guess, you know, like because that must be a huge thing as well.
Yeah, no, I it's good because I get to spend the day with her. You know, she's not up that late anyways. So I'll spend the first half of the day with her and then go to the restaurant at night. You know, take her grocery shopping, running her errands, doing whatever she needs to do. And then, you know, we eat some lunch, eat dinner, chill out, and then head to the restaurant like 5. Yeah.
You never feel like, oh, like I can't stand it anymore. Just her, parents.
What, my mom?
Moms, yeah.
Can't stand her anymore.
Yeah, just because you know.
It is difficult. It's just like a difficult process.
Just like living with your mom or like just spending so much time with a parent, especially an Asian one. Jesus.
No, she is very difficult. It's a funny story. I was like taking her to the bank or doing some errands, and I was looking through this folder she had. She was like, put this in the mail, and I was looking at the papers, and it was like a social workers report from like 97 when I was like 5. And it's basically she called the social workers on me when I was like 4 or 5. And the social worker's like, it seems like the mother has no control of her son. Possible undiagnosed mental illness.
Wow.
Is asking me to care for her son. And I was like, holy shit, I remember that day. I mean, I was a crazy kid. I was just like, you know, single mother. I'm running around just fucking kicking shit and like going crazy. And like she couldn't really control me. I guess she called social services, and they were like, he's like 5 years old, man.
He's just a rowdy kid.
Yeah.
He's just a toddler. So that I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Damn, dude.
So like, what were you dealing with that document at that time?
I don't know why it was there, but it was in a folder with something else.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of cute, though.
Yeah.
She kept it.
That's a memory.
Yeah.
She loves those, you know, those dark memories. She was like, and I brought it up to her. You know, this was like, she had a heart attack recently, like a month ago. So
Wow.
we've been hanging out a lot, and this was after that. And we were out to eat, and I was like, remember this? This is crazy. She was like, yeah, you're out of control. I didn't know what to do.
Wow, dude.
I was like, yeah. I mean, you'd think you'd know by the third kid, but
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, that's crazy.
I guess I was a menace.
Particularly a menace. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as children go. But yeah, no, I mean, because I think about it a lot too, man. Like, I don't know. My mom is definitely overbearing. Is definitely like, you know, very opinionated. Like a lot of Asian moms are.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I spend time with her, like if I go like live with her for a little bit, you know, it's like 2 weeks. I'm just like, oh yeah, I got to go back home. You know, it's one of those things. Do you feel that similarly at all?
Actually, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't even answer your question.
Yeah, it's all good, dude.
I used to feel like that. Yeah, a lot. But now that you kind of have a timer on things, you look at somebody and you're like, it could be 6 months, or you could have another random heart attack. It could be tomorrow for all I know. Like at this point, you know, I'm like gonna realize I'm gonna miss crazy stories or like her opinionated thoughts, because like when you bring mortality into it, it's kind of scary. Like if I look at you and it's like, oh, 3 hours, like you're gonna go outside and get hit by a car, like this is our last interaction. So I just at this point I just let her rant, because we were all super scared. She had just like a minor heart attack, and nobody knew what was gonna happen. So at this point I'm just like trying to get all the stories out of her and just learn, you know, the history.
Yeah. Are you doing any kind of like documentation of that, or just like you just want to hear it?
I probably should, because like I can't even remember what I did last week. You know, like I'm gonna look back and be like, we should have podcasted every day.
Right.
Just like record her.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just hanging. I'm just listening, and basically, you know, just doing whatever she wants, making things easy, not resisting, you know. But definitely, when I was younger, I was very resistant, and she was very opinionated. Definitely a tiger mom. Like A-. With what is this? Like, why do you not get an A? Like, you can either be an engineer or a doctor. Don't come back unless you have a PhD.
Interesting.
Stuff like that.
Well, she was saying she wanted you to be like an actor or whatever, like a model, right? So like, was she just doctor, lawyer, actor?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's rich, famous, and come back when you're rich and famous.
What does she think now about your career?
Well, it's so when I I did engineering because she wanted me to do engineering. Did that for a year. I didn't really like it. Switched to psychology. Just because I think I'm more of a people person.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went into teaching and bartending.
Mm.
And then when I switched to psychology, she was like, okay, you don't have to be an engineer. You can just, you can be a doctor now. Get your doctorate.
Yeah.
She's always just like, all right, where can we go from here?
Right.
And she definitely advised against the restaurant because my grandma had it. She worked in it.
Mm-hmm.
She realized how hard it was, and she was like, I strongly advise against this.
Did your mom also work in the restaurant?
Yeah, so my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, all the kids, basically family business. And my mom would just talk about like the 20-hour shifts there, like sleeping at the restaurant. And I was like, just, stubborn. I was like, I need to learn for myself. So, I think you got to learn the hard way.
Yeah, no, I asked because it's like, with my parents, it's very much the same way. A lot of Asian parents are the same way, right? Doctor, lawyer, whatever. Not a lot of them probably have the privilege of having that third option of actor / model like your mom did, but it's usually probably if they did, they would, right? It's one of those high status occupations. Restaurateurship seems to be always on the bottom of the list. It's less glamorous. It's definitely, everyone knows it's a grind and it's a slog. But at the same time, like for me, I was very like rebellious against like my parents' best wishes, right? Like I was like, I don't want to do this regular like doctor shit, right? And that's I think why I'm so drawn to the hospitality industry, because it's just like that's the last thing they would want me to do. I wonder, is that something that you had as well, or like why restaurant, or is it just because it's something that you know?
Yeah, I grew up with my grandma and my grandpa, and my grandma had already closed the restaurant down, but she would cook dinner every single night. And she would cook like a 5-course meal. Then she would do all the dishes, and then she would sit down and eat. And I think just seeing her, provide and that act of service and that kind of love language, I was like, you feel, I think I just kind of absorbed what I saw, and I realized like, oh, she's not going to sit down and eat until all the dishes are done. So now we should just help with the dishes. And I think I just kind of got indoctrinated into the service industry through just growing up with a grandma that used to have a restaurant. Yeah.
And that moment that you're describing, like that moment of like watching that act of service and, as you said, love language, I think it's so emotional, right? And that's what sticks with you. I think everybody has that. A lot of people I talk to in the industry, they have that moment where they remember, like, oh, whether it's a family member or some other loved one, like that really sticks out to them. So I think maybe you think if Asian parents want their kids to be doctors or lawyers, maybe they should do like, they should enact some kind of like moment for a very emotionally salient moment for their children, where they're either providing a medical service or an act of like maybe litigation in the household. Because then, just like you're saying, I'm in the restaurant industry now because my grandma, like, I remember that moment. Maybe like a new generation of Asians will be like, I remember when my dad took care of my like broken leg and it was so beautiful. Or like, I remember when my mom presented a case against like whatever. What are the big like legal things going on right now? Pedophilia, abortion.
Yeah, the Epstein Island.
Yeah, it could be any of those. Could be any of those things.
Yeah, like you're maybe they could hire somebody to get super injured in the house, and then they could save the day, and give them CPR or whatever, and you'd be like, holy shit.
Right. Or maybe because for you, it's like it had to happen to you, so maybe they have to hire someone else to injure you, and then they take care of you, and then be here. I was like, oh,
exactly.
Like I remember when my mom took care of me when I was a kid. That's why I'm a doctor now.
Thank
Honestly, I
God.
think like more people should be doctors. I remember the talk I gave yesterday at the fucking the NAP Asian Restaurant Week thing. It was all about
Yeah.
like, don't be a doctor or a lawyer, follow your dreams and do restaurant shit. But now that I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it, dude, I recently like I can't get a damn doctor's appointment for like 6 months.
Oh my God.
There
Yeah.
should
tell
just
me
there
about it.
definitely needs
Yeah,
to be
there
more
is a
doctors.
shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
So I think
crazy.
I think it's on us as Asians to, or just people to tell our kids like go be doctors. Like fuck all this creative shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's saving lives. and
Yeah.
Stuff. I agree. That's good. Maybe I'll do that to my nephew. And
Yeah.
just bully him
sabotage.
into be a doctor.
Yeah.
Just like create a sabotage situation
Yeah.
where. Yeah.
Is this your alleged cousin's son?
This is my brother's son.
Okay. Nice.
My brother's son.
Yeah.
No, it's a great idea. I mean, yeah. And we're going through the doctor's thing now. Like they're like, oh, you just had a heart attack. We'll see you in like 6 months.
Crazy, bro.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
I guess we'll just hang out until then.
Yeah.
It's scary though. Yeah. I mean, got to get back to the old traditional either doctor or engineer
Mm-hmm.
route.
Mm-hmm.
Enough of this restaurant stuff.
No.
So you wouldn't recommend somebody opening a restaurant?
Depends on if they're single or not. If you're single, I think you could. If you're in a relationship and they're not in the restaurant industry and your partner, I probably would suggest not to.
Mm.
But no, I think because my mom was kind of a health freak, I would always be that kid at other people's houses, like stealing their like food or eating their cookies because like we never had cookies.
Oh.
So I think part of that, like, oh, let me get some food. I was kind of that like weird poor kid, and I think a lot of that has to do with the restaurant too. Like, you're providing food for somebody that, might be that weird kid who doesn't get to eat that food.
Mm-hmm.
So I think definitely service and food as a service is something that obviously super important
Mm-hmm.
to me. So
The single thing is interesting. What about like a person who's in a relationship and has been for a while, so they're like kind of more stable in their relationship? Like for you, like
or they want to get it in together in the restaurant industry.
Ron and Jess style.
that's, yeah, if they're in it together, that could potentially work.
Mm-hmm.
Or
ruin everything, you think, or no?
I mean, I think everything being ruined is always a possibility, whether you guys are a good team or not.
True.
They definitely have their days, but they're a very good partnership.
Yeah.
So, I know that is definitely a thing that people say, don't go into business with your partner.
Right.
Because it does, confuse things sometimes.
You see them like 16 to 18 hours a day.
Yeah, and it's very high stress, and even if you don't mean some things, like it's hard to hold back the emotions, or you forgot that, or come on, like, where's this? And I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But they are doing it and doing it well, so it can be done.
Yeah. I've heard stories too of people who don't go into business with their partner, but they've been in a relationship for a long time. They're married, very stable, and then they say that provides them the kind of stability at home or in their kind of like love life to be able to go and do more things in their professional life. So like kind of in a similar way, like right now, how you're like shutting off the personal aspect, like for them, because they're so secure in their relationship, they can kind of shut off that, not shut off, but like deprioritize for a short time and then kind of like focus on the business, blow that, make that successful with the stability of, a loving partner at home. It's like, yeah, like what are your thoughts on that? Where it's like, okay, you've been married for a while, so it's not like you're looking necessarily. It's like you've kind of built something there already, so now you can focus on building something else, which is the business.
Yeah, I think that could totally work.
I guess you just have to deal with the temptation, right?
Yeah, like, I don't know. You're bringing rappers up, though. And I don't know. That seems like there's a lot of temptation in the rap industry.
Yeah, but like Gucci Mane has been with this girl since high school and got married in the last couple of years.
I guess, with those though, you don't know how much.
No shot. He did not cheat once.
right,
no
exactly.
shot.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, you have to either deal with the temptation or just your partner has to be okay with you. Fucking other people for a little bit.
I wonder how much of it she just like overlooks.
Right, right, yeah.
There's probably less temptation in the restaurant industry, but I think that could work. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So we again, as I was talking about earlier, we don't really know what this podcast is really about, but we do have a segment usually where we talk about Boston or the Boston area. So before we get into your thoughts on like the future of Boston and where you would like it to go, let's talk about right now. What are some of your favorite places to go? If you were to go out for like a dinner with like your friends.
Okay, dinner with friends.
Yeah.
I know I would always go to Felipe's for dates. That was my date spot.
Rooftop or bottom floor?
Back when I went, they didn't have a rooftop, but fucking anywhere. You would start at the bottom, work your way to the top.
Love that.
That's like the Felipe's.
Dude, you're talking our language, man. We love Felipe's, man. Definitely an
it's
all-time
more like
spot.
a spring summer bar for us.
Yeah, but we'll go any time of the year.
I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Like, it's always a vibe, and there's always tons of people.
Yeah, you get food before 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Yeah. I honestly, there's like no close second to Felipe's.
Hell yeah, man.
Because it's casual. Like, the date goes south, you just stay there.
Okay, what about not dates though? Okay, let's finish off the date thing. No close second, but where else would you take a girl if you were going to take her on a date?
The other spot I go to a lot is Zuma. I like that vibe. I like they have a DJ. They kind of like bump up the volume.
Very different vibes.
A little bougie. Yeah.
That's maybe a second, third, fourth date.
Yeah, definitely. Felipe's
or
always
first. You go first, Felipe's?
Felipe's is always first.
Yeah, because you gotta see how they can hang, right?
Yeah. Like, I want to go right now, but
dude, I'm down if you want to go after.
Fucking those margs, man.
Yeah.
Zuma, Zuma's definitely probably the only other spot I really go to often. But I just like the music there.
Yeah.
Good vibe. They kind of like really nice bar. And
great drinks over there.
Music, yeah.
Those are like two extremes.
Very
Felipe's
extreme.
and then Zuma. Any middle ground that you can think of?
Chili's or like
7-Eleven?
Yeah, 7-Eleven's definitely not. That's definitely like...
We'll get a hot dog and just smoke a pack of cigs outside. Maybe
unless you're talking like a Japanese 7-Eleven. You ever been to Japan?
I haven't. It's on my list.
Yeah.
It's a must do.
Yeah.
I assume you've been?
Yeah. I've been to Japan. My sister lived there for a couple years. She just got back actually. So
okay.
Yeah, it's been nice to reconnect with her. But yeah, we went over to visit her a couple times, and I love that place, man. Great.
Dude, yeah. I want to live there permanently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That would be nice. It's just their vibe is so chill.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be racist, but I think I lived in China for a while, and I know they're completely different. Like, China was it was like Gotham City to me.
Where in China were you living?
I lived in Chengdu for half a year, in 2015. Studied abroad and stayed there.
Okay.
And it was just so smoggy and loud, and
so many people
and pushing and spitting and cutting, and like it turned me into like a savage. Just like step on toes.
They've like, I've heard they have no sense of like personal space. They're very big on bodily fluids over there, just expelling them into the distance or the public.
Dude, yeah, I was in the produce section of a grocery store. This mom was just holding her kid over a trash can. He was just shitting.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
And she like wiped him, and then she's picking fucking fruit and putting it in a bag like the next second. And it all happened in like 10 seconds.
Damn.
Just straight diarrhea. And I was like, all right, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. Like,
and did you still buy the produce, or did that kind of turn you off of?
I did, but I would always boil water and I'd pour it over the apple and then I would peel the apple.
I mean, after that, when you see like active diarrhea near the produce, it's like, yeah, you gotta sanitize.
You gotta, like, everything would get a nice boil wash and then a peel.
Wow.
But I think from the YouTube videos my mom's seen, it looks like it's a lot better now.
Okay.
Looks like it's very, very high tech now.
Yeah.
But because we're from Hong Kong, we're kind of like, there's a little bit of friction between the Cantonese and mainlanders. But yeah, they say they're like, the people are behind the technology.
Fascinating. But yeah, no, as far as I've seen, like Japan is like very, very, like you're saying, it's the opposite. It's super clean. Yeah, I've never seen any public feces or anything like that. Like it's like public bathrooms, dude, in Japan, like it's insane. It's like they're all, like even in a train station, public bathrooms do like heated toilet seats with a bidet, and they have like the Bluetooth speaker you can hook your phone up to like play music.
All your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so, it seems like so thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful. Very thoughtful, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, in China, I was like, if you guys don't care, I don't care.
Just generally food-wise, like what are your favorite food-wise places in Boston?
Food places.
Or not food. If you're not trying to talk about food, you can talk about like going on a walk or seeing things or whatever.
There's a really good restaurant in South Boston. My friend who I played basketball with also opened up. It's called Lennox Sophia.
Okay.
Very fine dining. It's BYOB, but that's gonna be my next dinner date spot.
Nice.
It's like prefixed 4 or 5 dishes. And I served for him for a little bit. Very small restaurant, 20 seats, but we would eat kind of leftovers, and food was fucking amazing. So. That I guess would be my top 3.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, Zuma's food is just, it's okay. Sushi.
Yeah.
Honestly, like after opening the restaurant, I don't think I've even really gone to another restaurant in the past 4 years. So, because you're always working those nights,
right.
And everything's closed on Monday. Tuesday. So it's tough because I actually like have not been out to eat in like a really long time.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Except for those spots.
Right.
And Felipe's,
man.
Tasty Burger. I'm just eating fucking Shake Shack and just fast casual all the time.
Yeah, dude, yeah. We have a lot more options for fast casual, which is great.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I was gonna say you're probably you've eaten everywhere since.
Yeah.
You literally probably like every restaurant, right?
No, there's so many, dude. Like people always ask me, like, "Are you afraid you're gonna run out of shit to visit?" No, like, definitely not. Dude, there's so much, dude. When we Google, there's like 4,000 restaurants in Boston, and so it's like, yeah, no.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to mention Greater Boston area. There's even more. So yeah, there's a lot, but a lot of great stuff, man. But yeah, no, I mean, so I mean, you're involved in the restaurant scene here. Like, what? Or maybe even outside of the restaurant scene, like what do you think Boston needs to change? Like, how do you think we can be better in the future?
At least in terms of, I can speak on my industry. I think Boston's very conservative. It's very Puritan. Like the subway should be open a little bit later. Nightlife should be open a little bit later. Happy hour would be cool. Stuff like that. Just like fun stuff. It seems like we're very like strict out here. Those are the top 3 that would totally, I think, at least make a killing in the bar, events scene, nightlife. Like, because I think people just go out to either a sports game or a bar, and they know it's closing at 2 or 1, so they just get like super hammered, and then you just let like the bulls out at 1 or 2, and it's just like almost like the purge. Whereas like if a place closes at 4, people trickle out at 1, trickle out at 2, trickle out at 3, hit the subway. But there's this very weird bottleneck in Boston where it's like Uber pricing is going to be crazy at 2, and there's going to be a bunch of bros that are going to try to fight you at like TD Garden.
Yeah, everybody tries to leave early to avoid all that.
That too. Yeah. So that 1 to 2 spot is like 1 to 2:30 is like a super dangerous, scary time to be like in the North End or like TD Garden. Like Faneuil Hall, every time I go there, it's just like such drunk belligerence.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think if they just spread that out a little bit, that would kind of ease some of that like surge.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the race thing in Boston? Like, because you're in an interesting space where you're in the middle or both, right?
The race of
Asians and whites and blacks and
like the
Hispanics.
segregation of
People
like,
say Boston's racist, segregated. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I grew up in like Winchester, and we spent a lot of time like next to Lexington. So our schools had a ton of Asians in them. Not so much blacks, but I do think Boston is a very Irish city, Irish Italian. Yeah. And
you ever feeling like any friction or like people like being, oh, if you're, whatever they call you, a racial slur, this and that? I know.
I definitely did in elementary school. I mean, the small eyes, and then, Faneuil Hall, maybe in my 20s.
Yeah.
There was definitely some scuffs there, and just like tough guy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how closely related those are to racism, but
right.
Yeah, like, two sides of the same coin. A lot of egos. I've experienced a little bit. Thankfully, not like to a crazy extreme though. Yeah. But yeah, definitely.
But do you consider Boston to be a racist town? Because we have that hype that we are a racist town, especially like in sporting events and all of that.
Certainly a reputation there.
Yeah. Compared to what? I guess other U.S. cities?
Yeah, other big U.S. cities. Then New York, Miami.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like probably not compared to like most U.S. cities, but like compared to the other big ones, right? New York, L.A., Miami, like maybe a lot of the Texas ones, like where they're used to having a lot of diversity. Probably not that racist, but like probably a lot of the Midwest and like.
But I feel like those big cities are not segregated like here in Boston.
Yeah, we do have that segregation issue.
Yeah, because if you go to Chinatown, you're going to see there. Yeah. You go to Hyde Park, you're going to see there. You're going to go to East Boston.
East D. Yeah, no, it's very weird that how that happened here. I'm not sure. It's not definitely not in New York. Everyone's just everywhere.
Yeah. But I personally have never been like had anything racist happen to me in my time here.
Right.
The last 2 years. So
I don't. You guys met, right?
Yeah, we met in grad school back in the day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
A couple of years
for
ago.
Doctorate?
Masters. 2019 we met.
Nice.
I moved away for 3 years to work, and then I came back.
Sweet. Yeah. What did you guys study?
Biomedical engineering.
Okay, so
super Asian.
You're a good doctor.
Yeah.
Super Asian, dude. Yeah. But he's the only one. He actually does it.
Yeah, I still work in it. You kind of do.
Tangential. But
you guys sell biomedical.
He makes them, dude.
You make it?
Yeah, I help with the design process.
Oh, cool.
And manufacturing.
Yeah. And then you sell it. You make it and then you sell it.
His company sells it, or what?
Nice.
Well, my latest company is not trying to sell it. It's more for human clinical trials.
True.
But I've worked in previous companies that we just sell it. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, we're about to run out of storage space or something. So, is there anything you want to plug?
Anything I want to plug? I think I've plugged Cloud and Spirits enough.
Yeah, Cloud and Spirits, shout out. Yeah.
And if you want to go on a nice date, go to Lennox Sophia, bring a nice bottle of wine, and have my friend cook for you. Just open kitchen, 15-seater. Other than that, no, yeah.
Nice.
It's a good combo.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You got it all, dude.
No.